Good morning, everyone. How's it going out there? Again, like I said on the last live show, we're gonna start shows off with a pre-show. It's a pre-show moment. For me to show appreciation for the people who've come before we actually start the show. And it takes a while for people to kind of file in and fill into the chat. So we're gonna give that an opportunity to happen. But we're just gonna get a chance to know each other real quick before the show starts. I got random stuff to talk about. I had random stuff to talk about. I had a book over here of all kinds of random stuff to talk about before the show, the pre-show conversation. Start off, how you guys doing? Welcome to the Monday show, or the Wednesday show, before the Friday show, before the TGIF show. We got a couple things lined up. I'm starting to do a couple things, so throwing this out there as well. I'm starting to put the articles that I'm getting my information from in the description. So everything we talk about here that is article related, that is news related, will be in the descriptions. So you can go and check it out yourself. You can click on the link, follow along if you will. This is not a sing along, but it's definitely a follow along. You can follow along. You can do that. I'm trying to see what my pre-show banter was going to be. I remember now. We're gonna do like a 5-minute pre-show banter. So it gives us the 10-minute run up. 5 minutes for the actual little intro music and stuff, and then a 5-minute, maybe 10, because you know how I get down. I'll rant and ramble. This should be rant and ramble about tech. I had to keep it short though. The R2 just wouldn't fit for the marketing. So how's it going, Rod? Good. Oh, I say, how's it going, Rod? How's it going, Doc? Doc says, hello, Rod. Good morning. Glad you could join us. This is the pre-show. Pre-show banter. We're trying to give people the chance to come into the show. We may lose people doing this pre-show banter. If that is the case, I'll evaluate the stats and we'll adjust accordingly. If we start to lose people in the pre-show banter. But pre-show banter is I'm sick today. Like I'm feeling under the weather. I don't know this. I have COVID tests somewhere. So I may take a COVID test, but I feel like crap. But guess what? The show must go on. A sick monkey don't stop no show. A sick monkey don't stop no show, for sure. So we gonna continue the show. And I could have imagined and known I was going to get sick. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and throw the chat up there. My bad. Let's get the chat up too. I could have known. See, this is why the pre-show is good. I get the chance to do things that I didn't do and didn't think about before the show starts. So now I can do it in the pre-show with you all here. And then when the show starts, it's all done. Eventually, I'll cut the lives up at the shows, and then we'll have that. So let's go ahead and get the chat up here while I talk about my dilemma with being sick. So I knew I was going to be sick. Well, I'm sorry. I should have known I was going to get sick. So what happened was, where's the chat? Let's get this up here real quick in case we got some stuff going on. So what happened was, I go to a store that I frequent a lot. Bam, chat. How's it going, chat? Good to see you. So I went to a store that I normally frequent a lot. For those of you who are joining me right now, this is the pre-show banter. We're going to do this for about 5, maybe 10 minutes if I ramble. If I rant, it'll be 5 minutes. If I rant and ramble, it'll be 10. But it'll be good. It'll be good. We would have learned something. Maybe not, but it'll still be good. So I went to a store I frequent a lot. Pre-show banter. We're getting to the tech stuff. Okay? It's just 5 minutes, maybe 10. And when I get into the store, I realize half of the employees have masks on. Oh, snap. Holly Lennox. What's going on? Good morning. Thank you. I haven't seen that name before in the chat, but I'd like to thank people who are new coming in. I appreciate you. You could have been anywhere in the world here today. Literally. With the internet, with VR and XR, you could have been anywhere. You could have been in Dubai. I may have said Dubai already. You could have been in London. But you're here. Thank you. So I walk into a store I frequent all the time. And the first thing I noticed was probably what should have told me, just leave. They know something you don't, just leave. The Bahamas, no doubt. I like the Bahamas. I had an opportunity to go there last year. Things didn't work out. Maybe next year. So I go in there. Half of the staff has masks on. Now, I don't care about people's stance on masks and vaccinations, and I don't care. That's not even my concern. It's not even my area of expertise. I'll leave it to the people who do. But that should have been a sign to me. They know something you don't. Back away slowly. I didn't. I ignored the sign. When half of the staff of the store or public place you're going into has masks on, they probably know something you don't. You probably should take precautions. I should have washed my hands thoroughly before, after, and during. I should have splashed sanitizer on my face. I didn't do any of that. And due to that, I think I have COVID now. Do I know that? No, I don't. But it's weird because COVID is like you're sick, but you have the vaccination, so you don't get sick. So all the symptoms of you being sick, like fever, red eyes, coughing, none of that happens. You just feel like crap. You just feel like total and utter crap. So that's the thing. That's the thing there. All right. We lost people during my pre-show banter. We have less people now than what we started with. That didn't work. It was supposed to bring people in, not lose people. That wasn't the point. It's some things work, some things don't. Should I ramble now? I ranted. Now should I ramble? Probably not. Probably not. Let's get the show on the road before we lose even more people. All right. Let's see if we can do this. Mario Creft says, driving home so hard to chat. No doubt. Listen, driving home from work, overnight shift, listen, drive safe. I know how it is. You're trying to get home fast because you're like, I can't stand where I've been for the last 8 to 10 to 12 hours. I get it. I know how it is. Drive safe. Drive safe. Do not chat. Just drive safe. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get the show on the road. We're going to go ahead and get the intro music going here. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning. We're just getting the show started. We had the pre-show rant going. We did the pre-show rant. We lost people, but it was still good. It was still good in my opinion. The gist of that story was, if you walk into a public place, at least half of the staff has on masks, leave. And just leave. They know something you don't, and they're not telling you. So, yeah. Should I frequent that place again? I really don't have a choice, but I have a choice. I could not be lazy and find another place to go, but I'm extremely loyal, and it keeps me not thinking about certain things that I don't want to think about. New places to shop, I don't want to think about. Color on eInks, oh yeah, I want to think about that. I want to think about that. So it's all about what you want to think about. I got sidetracked again. I started to ramble. See, that was a rant and then a ramble. So you got a twofer this morning. You got a twofer. Let's get the show started. Oh, I like the bop. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Rants About Tech Live for Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. Is it 2025? It is. It's 2025. It's a good year. Thank you for everybody for joining me. Appreciate you. Welcome. We got people in the chat. People I haven't seen before. I appreciate you joining me. You don't know what you're in for. Someone should have warned you. It's going to be a good time, though. It's going to be a good time. Today is sunny. Slightly sunny. I meant sunny but slightly cloudy in Philadelphia. It's cold as crap, though. The sun is misleading. The little bit of sun that I'm getting is super misleading. So I hope you're having better weather where you are today. I hope you're above freezing today. That's the measurement. Are you above freezing today? Then you're doing good. Because I am not. It's below freezing here in Philly. But we're having a good time. We're going to get to some tech news. We're also going to get to some eInk news, which is also tech news. It's a subset of the tech news, but we're going to get to that too. But first, let's talk about the biggest thing going on here, which is promos. We got to get to the promos. Did you think I was going to get to the news without the promos? Chill out. Chill out. We got bills to pay. So let's get to the promos. Supporting the channel. The best ways to support the channel. Oh boy. Oh no, I'm sorry. My bad. We can't do the promos without getting to what the day is. I was ahead of myself. I put paying bills above the day, what day it is. I can't. My bad. I'm sorry for people who care. All right. So anyway, National Chocolate Mint Day today. Chocolate mint. I'm not a chocolate mint fan. I gotta say, I am not a chocolate mint fan. Chocolate mint ice cream comes to mind, right? I don't want it. Caca, get it away from me. We got chocolate mint fans? I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. I mean, I will. I kind of already have. I'm sorry. But I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. So if you like chocolate mint, throw it in the chat. It's your day today. Chocolate mint. Enjoy some chocolate mint. Don't even feel bad about it today. If someone says, hey, you're on a diet. You know you shouldn't be eating that chocolate mint ice cream. Be like, listen, it's chocolate mint day today. I'd be remiss if I didn't eat some chocolate mint ice cream today. I won't be joining you personally, but if it's your thing, enjoy. National Tug of War Day today. Remember playing tug of war back in the day? If you're younger, do you remember playing tug of war of yesterday? I don't know. But back in the day, I used to play tons of tug of war. Fun game. If you haven't played tug of war, you don't know. Kids, if any kids are listening to this, you're missing out. Get a rope, get a few friends, put half of you on one side, maybe less than half of the stronger people, and then a bunch of the people who aren't so strong on the other side. It's a good time. Do it over a moat. Go to Cornwall in England. Find a moat. Throw a rope over it. You don't even care who's on the other side of the moat. Just hope that someone catches the rope. Then you guys just have a good time. Just pull it until someone falls into the moat. Oh, believe me, that's a good time. If you haven't tried that, that's a good time. On the serious things though, Iwo Jima Day. This is for the Marines out there who fought World War II, Iwo Jima. This is remembering those brave fellows, the World War II vets, the Marines. Iwo Jima. It's your day today, guys. So remembering those guys. I'm a big military history buff. Recently, I'm a big North American history buff. There's stories to be told. There's stories to be told in North America, I'm telling you. All right, now to paying the bills. I need a segment. I keep saying that I need a segment sound. That segment sound is coming Monday. I'm going to get it together tomorrow. We may do it on Friday's show. We may have a segment sound on Friday's show. But until then, I'll make my, you know what? I have a sound here. It's not what I would want, but it's a sound that could work. No? I'll keep working on it. Okay. Paying the bills, promos. Okay, so ways to support the channel. If you're enjoying what you're watching, you probably haven't yet. We've lost people, so but if you are enjoying it, thank you. I appreciate you. Ways to support the channel and support the content that you're seeing. If you're watching the rerun or the replay, or if you watch any of my content, good way to support the channel. The website, rantsaboutTech.com. We're going to take a look right now. RantsaboutTech.com, we got t-shirts. Okay, we got white, we got black, we got pins, we got nibs. Go check it out. Links in the description of the show here. So check it out if you're so inclined. Just one way to support the channel. There are other ways. You can become a member of the channel and support the channel that way. Viewing is supporting the channel. If you're looking at me right now, thanks for your support. You added to the statistics. I said the statistics. I meant statistics. You've added to them. Thank you. I appreciate you. Another way to support the channel. How do we got here? Like, sharing, and commenting, subscribing. Those are also ways to support the channel. So if you're doing any of that, I appreciate you, and thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for viewing. Thanks for watching, sharing if you are sharing, and all those kind of things. So I appreciate all the support in whatever way it comes. So thank you guys out there. First thing we got up here is going to be Apple news. That's gonna be the first piece of news we cover here. So let's jump into it. That wasn't what I was. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted right there. Apple's supposed to have an event today, and everyone thinks it's going to be a new. I don't want to say cheaper budget. There we go. Everyone thinks it's going to be a new budget phone along the lines of their SE phones that they had. I think the last SE they made was like a couple years ago. So yeah, they're coming out with and they're not doing an event. So this is weird because they've announced that they're going to release something today. They didn't say what time. Matter of fact, let's take a look and see if they have anything new. Nope, not yet. Not yet. So they haven't. So the store is down though. So they're updating the store. So clearly there is something going on. But everyone thinks it's going to be a phone today. I would imagine this is going to happen at about 1 o'clock, 10 a.m. like West, like California time. Is that Pacific time? I think that's Pacific time. So 10 a.m. Pacific time, I think they're going to do it, which would be 1 p.m. Eastern time. If they do, we'll talk about it Friday. Or if they do it during the show, we'll keep checking during the show and see what happens. But they're releasing a new phone. That's what everyone thinks anyway, from the rumors. A new budget phone. So it says the most of the rumors have referred to the device as the new iPhone SE since it will succeed the iPhone XE third generation. Let's go and show where we're reading from here. But there's mounting evidence that the device will be named iPhone 16e instead of iPhone SE fourth generation. So they're going to a new budget phone. When I first read this, I thought, oh, well, firstly, I got hit by clickbait on another article that was like, oh, Apple may not be releasing the iPhone SE as we all thought. I thought, oh, well, what's coming then? I click on it. They're like, oh, it's the same phone. It's just different name. I'm like, okay, I'm clicking away. I don't even want to read your article anymore. If that's the way you're getting me in here, I don't want to read it. Leave me alone. So I did read this article, though, from Mac Rumors. Plainly labeled, iPhone SE name is increasingly likely instead of iPhone SE4. That's the way you name an article. Someone does this on YouTube. I won't say a name. But there is a person who does this exact thing on YouTube, and for that exact reason, I don't watch their videos. So misleading. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I want to see that. I click on it. It's everything but that. My videos aren't like that, are they? Am I misleading? If I am, let me know. I'll try not to be. All right, so anyway, new iPhone coming from Apple. That's the big news. We don't have anything else to discuss. Does anyone care? Clearly no one does. We'll move on. What else we have up here? There's a thing going on. The Wall Street Journal is reporting there's a new plan for Western companies, and it's called ABC. Anything but China. I heard this on a podcast a couple days ago, and again yesterday, before I thought it was worth like looking into. Because I thought, oh, this is just some people just upset about the China things that are happening right now. There's like they want to be mad about it and label something a movement. But this is clearly a thing. Companies are moving factories and supply chains and a lot of the logistics out of China. For a whole bunch of reasons. I wrote some down. COVID being one of them. So this isn't new. This has been happening for a little while. And this is kind of what the story gets into here with the Wall Street Journal. Actually, I couldn't read all of the Wall Street Journal, so I had to go to another publication that I got my information from right here. The Wall Street Journal walls off stuff. They're so terrible. But this thing this migration from China's supply chain logistics for a lot of major companies has been happening for a little while now. It's come to a head now because of all of the tariffs and things that are happening, and some other things. But it started happening, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic we had. So during that time is when things really started shifting from China, is when companies started at least thinking about shifting from China because of their restrictions on factory work and workers during that whole lockdown period. They were super stringent on how they were handling the pandemic. Some would say everyone should have been handling that strictly. That's not my debate. But the thing is, they were handling it strictly, and for that reason, it was hindering a lot of work. A lot of logistics were getting set behind. We felt that here in the States, with things being higher to ship than normal, things taking longer, right? Which led to things costing more. So there was a whole thing happening during the pandemic that started this whole migration from China's manufacturing ecosystem for a lot of major companies in the West, the East. We are in the East, right? Oh boy, we are all West. We are in the West. Let me clean my glasses off after that one. We'll pretend that I never said that. Okay, we'll act like I never said the East. So, what were we talking about? I was cleaning my glasses. I don't even know what happened. So I was cleaning my glasses. So anyway, companies in the West have been migrating for a while. But I thought this was interesting because of the take that people are taking on it. And now there's a lot of push behind this movement to move manufacturing from China. Now, I just think that anytime people can save money, that's going to matter over anything. And people save tons of money using their supply chains in China and using all of the cheap labor in China. That's going to push everything. Like if you can save money, that dictates most decisions that people make. So I don't see this being a long-standing thing, but I have seen some things and read some other articles and heard some other things that indicate that companies are investing a lot of money into moving these supply chains. And when that happens, and not on a temporary basis, and when companies invest a lot of money into moving supply chains, there's incentive to keep the supply chains as they are, right? Like it took millions and billions of dollars to get their supply chains the way they are now over decades, right? And getting things to move like well-oiled, like a well-oiled machine. It's a refined process. They've gotten used to it. They probably even found ways to save even more money by streamlining. So when they spend money into moving that well-oiled machine that they have going to another location, knowing it's going to take time to get it going like it was before, that's huge. And with the amount of money companies are investing in moving their supply chains and the logistics for shipping and manufacturing, I don't see this going back, which is what I initially thought when I first heard this, which is why I wasn't going to like mention it at all. Because I'm like, okay, well, people are going to change their supply chains for a little bit until the heat dies down, and then they'll go back to what they were doing before, and kind of trying to make the same money. That doesn't seem like it's going to be the case here. So let's just take a look here and read this excerpt right here we have. For a growing number of Western tech companies, anything but China is the order of the day. In recent years, many multinationals decided they had become over-reliant on suppliers in China, prompting them to pursue a so-called China Plus One strategy of augmenting China-based suppliers with those of other countries. Now with U.S.-China tensions soaring again, many tech businesses are accelerating moves to shift production out of China and look for suppliers elsewhere, signifying a global tech world that is increasingly bifurcated. Ooh, wow. I've never seen that word before. What? Yeah, let's search that. Bifurcated. To divide into two words. A sample of water was taken from a point where the river bifurcates. Oh, roads, rivers, branches, etc. Okay. Divided into two branches, forks. Okay, nice. I like that. That's a good word. I like that word. Bifurcated between two powers. So split between two powers. I'm gonna start using bifurcated instead of split from now on. Everybody is taking a look for an alternative to China, said Wang Xiaohai, the head of the Semiconductor Industry Association in Malaysia, a destination for many tech companies leaving China. So what are we talking about? Southeast Asia ish region. Companies are redesigning their business. There's no more just-in-time strategy. Some people call this new strategy just in case. So this is just, like I said, initially I thought it was going to be what they talked about here in this little excerpt. People were just looking for alternatives, like a plus one. Like, okay, we're going to do our China stuff, but also going to have this other factory doing things in case we need to shut that other one down for a little while the heat dies down, and we can keep our manufacturing up with this other plant. Not making the same amount of margins and profit, but at least we keep our supply chain going, and we still making money. That's what I thought it was going to be. But like I said, it looks like this is going to be a more permanent thing people are looking for versus a temporary thing they're looking for. This could play out. And the only reason this is interesting to me too is because a lot of the devices that we get come from China factories, right? Or Chinese factories. It's just, this is going to affect costs of stuff because they're not going to be able to make it as cheaply elsewhere as they do in China. Yeah, I think the cost of a lot of things are going to go up when this happens. And that's why it concerns me, especially being in the technology business. All right, what else we got here? Meta AI Raybans used for life enhancing for bands are life enhancing for the blind. Now, this is an augmented story I read after listening to a podcast on this particular topic. So basically, Meta Raybans are being used for the blind and not the deaf, but the slightly deaf, people that are hard of hearing. There we go. People that are hard of hearing. They're being used as eyes for the blind, and the speakers are being used for the people who have, like I said, who are hard of hearing. And there's some debate about whether people should use a consumer product like the Meta Ray-Bans I have on right now as a medical device. What do you guys think about this? Does anybody have an opinion on this? I'd like to see what you have to say in the comments if no one's in the chat has anything to say about it. But if you're in the chat here today, definitely throw your thoughts up on this. I think personally, after using these and knowing what they're capable of, nothing's perfect, right? Like nothing is perfect, but these are good. Like when I'm going out to do stuff, I almost exclusively carry these now instead of my headphones. Because my in-ear headphones are convenient, but they block out the outside world, so I can't kind of hear what's going on around me that well. And there are in-ear headphones that have passive sound that they can pump the passive environment into your head along with the music. So that's an option as well. But this kind of simulates that with just letting you hear what's by your ear and also hear the outside world. So that's one of the features that I'm going to hype up when I do the Meta Ray-Ban review. Another thing that they talked about is the fact that the glasses help the blind read text. And that's something I talked about on the live when I first got the Meta Ray-Bans. I mean, I talked about it a few times on this live show. But that's a feature I thought was very impressive because I stumbled upon that a couple of months ago, maybe a couple of months ago now, where I was reading a book and I had the Meta Ray-Bans on, and I'm like, okay, well, let's just see how good the camera is and how good the AI is at seeing and telling me what I'm looking at. And, and then I thought, well, maybe ask it to summarize the passage of the book that I'm looking at. So I'm reading a book, and I just said, hey, blank, could you summarize this page for me? And it knew what was on the page and summarized it perfectly. And that's when I realized, yeah, the Meta Ray-Bans can read what you're reading and tell you what it is and summarize it. The camera's fidelity is good enough to discern small text at a reasonable distance away from your face, right? So I thought that was super impressive. I didn't think it was even going to be able to do it. I kind of did it as a like test to kind of prove to myself it couldn't do it, and it did it. But that's when I realized it. So when I saw this and was like, okay, yeah, I've done that. I know that they're good for that kind of thing. I was like, yeah, this could be wonderful. But then they were bringing up some of the downsides of using the Meta Ray-Bans as a medical device because of the AI's inability to be 100%. But like I said, nothing is perfect. And if you need to, asking the glasses multiple times for people who are trying to use them as medical devices would be helpful. Like, best 2 out of 3, you know what I mean? Type of situation. And which is what I would suggest anytime, right? Because like I said, nothing's perfect. AI is not perfect. But in reading this story and researching it, I did come across something I didn't know about the Meta Ray-Bans, which was this right here. The Meta Ray-Bans have partnered up with Be My Eyes. And I thought, that's interesting. So if you don't know what Be My Eyes is a, let's check it out here. Be My Eyes is a organization, a program. Let's just check it out. How long is this? Oh, it's 6 minutes. We can't do that, my brother. All right, our mission is to make the world more accessible to 340 million people who are blind or have low vision. We seek to perfect and scale okay, yeah, I read that right. Scale a purpose with profit business model. Okay, wow, someone needs to rewrite this for them. That deploys powerful new tools to create simultaneous delight for our blind and low vision community, our volunteers, and the companies and governments utilizing our platform. Blind and low vision people first. So this is an initiative to help the blind. And let's take a look at how it works here. All right, so it looks like the wait is over. Starting today, this was in November that this happened. Like I said, I had no idea this was even a thing. Starting November 13, 2024, Be My Eyes is officially available on the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, initially in the US, Canada, UK, Ireland, and Australia, bringing hands-free accessibility to our blind and low vision community in a way never seen before. This marks a significant milestone to our community, our commitment to making the world more inclusive and navigatable for everyone. Navigatable. I like the quick version. How it works. With the new integration, Be My Eyes users can now call a sighted volunteer using just their voice. Simply say, "Hey blank, be my eyes," and you'll be connected to one of our 8.1 million global volunteers. The volunteer will view your surroundings through the smart glasses and provide real-time assistance through open ear speakers, whether it's identifying items on a shelf, navigating busy public spaces, or following a recipe, all while your hands remain free. They have a little demonstration of this. Let's check it out.
I have a very strong sense of identity in my blindness.
A woman puts on a pair of Ray-Ban Meta glasses. She grins. Okay. The glasses have a sleek black frame and an integrated camera.
Hold on, let's stop this for a second. We got to get we got to get my headspace right. I don't know how these things aren't connected, but they are not. Oh boy, Bluetooth. Okay, chat. 5 seconds. All right, there we go. Less than 5 seconds.
Camera.
What are the misconceptions?
Let's start over.
I have a very strong sense of identity in my blindness.
A woman puts on a pair of Ray-Ban Meta glasses. She grins. The glasses have a sleek black frame and an integrated camera.
What are the misconceptions?
So this caption is happening, I'm assuming, because this is a for the blind site, and that's an accessibility feature.
That people have about blind people is that we don't care about how we look or the way we present ourselves to the world. The Ray-Ban Meta glasses allows me to still look fashionable and be able to do the task that I need done as a blind person.
Hey Meta, call a volunteer with Be My Eyes.
Calling a volunteer.
Apparently you don't have to say that anymore. Apparently the prompt is a little simpler than that now.
Hey there, how can I help?
Hi, I just got a new record player and I wanted to see if you could help me figure out which of these buttons turns it on.
Absolutely, I think it's the one on the bottom. Try that.
This one here?
Yeah, that's it.
Perfect, thank you.
She moves to the rhythm.
Being able to connect with a human through the Be My Eyes call feature makes a world of difference.
She looks through some letters.
How can I help?
Hi, I'm going to a salsa night later today.
I'm able to ask follow-up questions and get more detailed information.
So obviously this is a nice feature, right? huge feature. But because of how much interactions involved, I mean, I would imagine this cost a pretty penny. Oh, it's free. Wow. Okay, never mind. That's free. Wow, this is great. Okay, this is awesome. I like that. Okay, so yeah, I think this is great. So there's like I said, the debate. Should you be using them for medical stuff? Let's go to the chat real quick. Functional Doc says the non-medical device will definitely be cheaper in cost. Absolutely. And that's similar to what we were talking about on Monday's show, I think, where we were talking about the viability of maybe not Monday's show, maybe last week sometime, the viability of Apple Headphone 2s to be hearing devices. They're FDA approved now for that. And they're certainly a consumer product that's certainly cheaper than what the not professional, but more the medical device would cost, for sure. John says this sounds amazing and concerning at the same time. Sounds super helpful, but then who else sees that info? Right. Definitely more pros than cons. Yeah, I mean, if it's helping people, I guess you're giving up some of your privacy no matter what. Even if you were to call someone over to your home, even if you had a personal assistant, right, you'd be giving up some bit of privacy in that situation. So, yeah, I think it's good. I think it's great. I think it's a very good option for people who have a medical condition, whether it's with sight or hearing. These glasses are super helpful in all kinds of situations. And like, I have no handicaps or disabilities. I'm a disabled veteran, but I have no handicaps or disabilities that I would need these for. But at the same time, they're almost indispensable to me now with no disabilities. And I can just imagine how helpful they would become to someone with disabilities. Shing says, with the cost of insurance and medical services in the U.S., I can see a lot of people taking advantage of OTC treatments. Right. Absolutely. And that's where, again, the Apple Earbud Pro 2s come into play. The Meta Raybans come into play. When Meta was told that people were using their glasses for medical devices, their response was basically they're trying to do more on that end, trying to give people more tools to empower themselves. They didn't speak about getting approval from any government agency for this. Super interesting, though. I could see that being a thing, though. Once these cameras get so good to where you're not, it's only about the mistake that the AI is making, which, they're making less and less mistakes all the time. Then we might see something really, really interesting. Very interesting. All right. What else we got here? Oh, is this? Oh, that's not it. Oh, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Next story. Next up, we got Spectrophotometer that I received in the mail the other day. This is the eInk section for all who cares. Can I put it? I want to insert something. Yes. All right. Awesome. All right. So basically, the photo spectrometer. So I ordered this thing a while back. I ordered it a minute ago, and I thought it was going to be another month before I got it. They canceled my first order. It just never came, and they canceled it. I was like, okay, what's going on? Scientific instruments. I get it. But we have it today. Let's take a look. So this is a device that's going to basically, if you're in the eInk space, this is going to be a cool device to have and to see data on. Let's go to the chat real quick before we go into this. John says, I wonder if the support is free because they sell your data, or maybe the company gets funding if the device is used for medical purposes. Either I'd be okay with. You can probably guarantee they're selling data, bro. Absolutely. Nothing's free except getting your data. So they can sell it for tons. But yeah, so a spectrophotometer is something that's cool in the eInk world because we're always concerned about the brightness of the display. Like we want it to be as bright as possible. And we're always concerned about ghosting. And for me, inverted ghosting. And that's kind of one of the things I want to check. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this device to test other devices. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself right now. But I'm going to use this to test eInk devices and put the data I get up on the screen. Or I'll say up on the screen. Up on the website. So that's going to be one of the good reasons to have the website. And one of the reasons I'm kind of switching it over. The website is in like a remodel right now. Getting it ready for articles and write-ups and tables and stuff like this data right here that we're going to talk about. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is not it. This is the hardness tester. I mean, we could talk about that, but we've already done that on live, so no big deal. All right, let's take a look. All right, so this is the case right here. I don't know why. Oh, this is definitely crooked. All right. Oh, can it see me? Whew. All right, there we go. It should be less crooked. It's not crooked at all. There we go. I knew it was crooked from the last show. I'm like, what happened? I must have knocked my camera stand and it threw everything off. But anyway, we're good to go. So this is the case right here. I'm super skeptical about scientific instruments. They come in the worst boxes and cases possible. Like these people who make these devices, these precision devices, don't care how things look. The packaging is pretty good. Once I opened this box, everything was fine. But the outer box looked like a pit bull got to it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it was crazy. All right, so this is the thing right here. What we got? This is it. This is the thing. The thing that's going to do all the calculations. I've done testing with this already and calibrated it, but we're going to do that here. It's a pretty interesting and awesome piece of technology. So we're going to set that to the side here. We don't need any of the rest of this, but we do need this. All right, let's throw this over here. So, yeah, so we have the spectrophotometer here. This is just like, I think this is cool. Whenever you get like a lab instrument, they give you a certification letter, giving you all the information for your specific device, certifying that it's been calibrated and that the readings it gives are accurate. Yeah, good stuff to have, and I love seeing this kind of stuff. It almost makes you want to frame it just for the certification. But this is it right here. All right, so if anyone has any questions about this, let me know. Hit me up in the chat. We can do it. I'm just going to be doing a number of tests. So quickly, what we're going to do is, what do we got? So we're going to talk about the machine here, and me learning the settings. So the settings are really simple. So what we have here is, let's turn it on real quick. I'll bring this down. There we go. Okay. All right. So the settings we have here are pretty simple for this device. So now it's asking me to calibrate because it requires you. It has a timer that it keeps on inside, and it requires you to calibrate every 8 hours. So if you haven't calibrated in 8 hours, it requires you to calibrate again. So I like that because it keeps everything super accurate. So we won't skip it. I will calibrate, but I wanted to show you a couple things first. So the first thing we got here is the white calibration marker, which we have right here. And this is just the black calibration marker. There's nothing here, it's just a hole, but it's totally dark on the inside of there. So once it's covered, you don't get any light. So it calibrates the black with this and the white with this right here. It magnetically sits on this. It magnetically sits on this thing right here. Oh no, we didn't want to do that. I will calibrate, but we won't do it right now. Okay, so it kind of magnetically sits on this tray right here and does its calibrations on both sides. But just a real quick go on the settings here, just show what I have here for settings. Not that, I mean, I'm going to explain this really quickly. And there's only 2 settings that I changed on here. So the first thing I had to do to get a measurement was to change the parameter here. So we see the parameter. I'm not sure if you can see. Let's get down a little bit more here. Joseph the Spaceman says, what is this? This is a spectrophotometer. This machine right here is going to test the background whiteness of eInk devices. I mean, it tests the whiteness of and color of anything, but I'm using it and I care about it because it will tell me the whiteness. It'll tell me the whiteness of ink displays, so I can accurately judge them and make calculations on how much the brightness drops after ghosting, how much the brightness, what is the brightness after a refresh, inverse ghosting. Now we can see and measure whether the inverse ghosting whiteness is brighter than the actual display brightness, because that's something that people were talking about, but we don't know. We will know soon. So that's what this device does. So right here, like I said, the first parameter you see is whiteness. That's a parameter that I had to choose because initially it's not on whiteness. It's on density normally. I went in because I'm not testing color density here. I'm testing whiteness. So I chose, there's 2 whiteness tests that you can do, a whiteness ASTM and whiteness CIE. And the whiteness CIE is the most common standard for whiteness measurements. There we go. For whiteness measurements. So I chose that. So that's one thing I changed. All the other settings were kind of like set up for once you change the parameter, the other settings kind of like change to go in line with this parameter you set here. But I had to go in and change one other setting, which maybe 2 other settings, which is the angle. So I changed the angle from 10, which was the default, to 2 because after doing some research last night, I realized that for reflective surfaces and like smooth like surfaces or metals and things, you want to use 10 degree or a 10 degrees angle for that measurements. But for textiles and things like paper, you want to use 2 degrees for angle of measurement. So that's what I chose there. And other than that, I don't think I changed anything else. Actually, I did change measure button. Measurements happen when you put this thing down on, you'll see how it opens up and closes. When you close it, it does a measurement automatically. That was just too much for me because I was doing too much opening and closing of this device. So I changed the measurement to be when I hit this button right here. So now the button changes the measurement. And that's what this is. So now let's go ahead and do a calibrations just so we know that it's calibrated, and then we'll move on to, I want to do a whiteness test for the color checker that I have here. So I have a Spider color checker 24. It's official color chart with known values for all of the colors, including the white on here. So we're going to use this to see what it's at, and then we're also going to test it with, let's see here. We're also going to test it with a piece of white. This is the whitest paper I have in here, and we're going to test it with this white right here, which is super white. I mean, you can't tell right here from this camera, but it's super white, and you can tell that it's definitely whiter than the background of the 10.3 here, right? Or the Manta, which is what we're going to test it with, because of the inverse ghosting, we're going to test it on the Manta. So you can see that that's a bit wider than even the bezel of the Manta. So anyway, super white piece of paper right here. We'll have the Manta, and then we'll have the whiteness of the color checker to gauge as well. All right, let's get down to calibrating, shall we? Okay, all right, so calibration. So we're going to go ahead and calibrate it just so we all know it's calibrated. We'll do the calibrate. So now, right now, it's on the white calibration checker or tool. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the button. So it calibrated the white. Now I'm going to put it on the black side here. Because if you can see, this is the hole where the light is shining through. I have this right here is it narrows the beam, it focuses the beam of light on a particular area. There are other ones that have bigger holes that can cover a bigger area, but because of the things I'm testing, I think a smaller, narrower hole would be better to do that with. Now, let's go ahead and calibrate the black end here. All right, so now that it's calibrated, we can do checks and see from a known standard, this is an industry standard here, what white really is. So now, what I have to do now is like unlatch this here, and it looks like a stapler almost. But what that does is it allows me to put this right here on something and be able to tell from the angle, like if I'm looking at it, what it's actually on, versus if it's down like this, I won't be able to tell exactly what it's on. I can't show that here. Actually, I can. So let's just say it was on this right here. If it was on this, I'd be able to see exactly, because of the hole here, I'd be able to see exactly where I'm going to get that color reading from. Oh, there we go. I can see exactly where I'm going to get that color reading from. You see that movement there under the hole? So that's what that allows me to do. It allows me to put that hole in a precise location and then get a reading at that precise location. So we're going to put that down here. Just leave that like that. So the first thing we'll do is the color checker to get a gauge for what this is. And I can tell right here from this, and I think you can tell that as well, that this white that we're going to test is whiter than the white on the color checker. So I think that's pretty safe to say. But we're going to check it. If this doesn't look as white as this right here, but we're going to check it. So let's do a measurement of the white here. Now, what I'm going to do is do successive tests, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to... All right, we're going to do it on the measurement here. Let's get this down a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a test, and I'm going to run 5 and take the measurements down. Oops, I had a piece of paper. Let's grab it. What? I can't believe I just said that. I got 1,000,000,006 ink devices over here. Why would I do that? Okay. All right, so what we'll do is we'll take the measurements down right here. So I'll do 5. We'll take the measurements and then see what the common thing is, because in case it gives different readings each time, we want to take an average of that and see what we come up with. All right, so we'll go ahead and measure. So the whiteness is 72.18 first try. We're going to do 72.19, 72.19, what do we get? 72.22 and 72.24. So we got a range from 19 to 24. We did get 22.19 twice in that 5 span there. We'll keep that. All right. So now we're going to go on to a actual white sheet of paper here. Put this color checker away. Maybe put the color checker away. I got to find a new folder for that. All right, so we're going to find an unblemished piece of this paper here. We're going to put that down on there. Now, we should get a higher reading for the brightness of the paper because this paper is super white right here. So let's go ahead and try that. We'll take 5 measurements. So we got 89.47. 89.48. 89.49. 89.43. And last one, 89.40. So we stayed in the range of 89.40 to 89.49 there. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up. Now we're going to check the Manta. Now this is going to be a little bit difficult to do. So let me go ahead and put this here. This will be a little difficult to do. I'm going to try to put this on a blank sheet of paper and where can I get a blank sheet? Yeah, we do that. Oh yeah, that's coming. That is coming. All right, we're going to change the template to just a white sheet of paper. Okay, so I just did a refresh, okay? And we're going to go ahead and test this after the refresh here. Oops. Okay, so we got this right on the screen here. Go down. We got 32.22. 32.16. Now, mind you, the paper was 89. The checker was 72. 32.18. 32.31. 32.23. So we got from 32.22 to 32.16 to 32.31. All right, let me circle these highs and lows here. All right. So, I mean, let's lock this up here. So do not mind my handwriting. It's terrible. I know. This is how scientific writing it goes when you're writing at shorthand. Paper and Supernote. So these are like what I get. So 72 for the checker, essentially, 89 for paper, and then the Supernote we got 32. We're talking almost half the brightness, or less than half the brightness of paper, and less than half the brightness of the checker too. Yeah. But now, let's do something interesting. Let's test that brightness against the Nomad brightness. And then we'll be done with this. All right, do a refresh there and let's take a look. Turn it this way. Make sure we don't have any dust on here. All right. We'll do 5 for this one as well. Ooh. That's interesting. Oh boy. It looks like the Manta is brighter than the Nomad. So we're getting 28.6. Okay. So we're getting in the range, 2820 to 2830 something. If I clean this more, maybe held it. Ooh. Okay, this is not going to go well. All right, so anyway, definitely 28. So let's put this on here. So we got 28 in the 28 range for the Nomad, and we got in the 32 range for the Manta. So yeah, super interesting. Super interesting. Let's go ahead and close this up here. Definitely interesting. All right. Definitely interesting. And that's for the record though, since we got 8940 through 8949 for the white paper, right? So let's just see, just do a quick check. Do a real quick check and see what the Googles say about, to see what the Googles says about paper whiteness. CIE standard for paper whiteness. As a CIE whiteness and uses a standard illumination called D65, which was what we had this set to. Let me take a look at this again. One of the settings we had here was and it was a default setting, so I wasn't sure whether that default was going to be correct or not, but apparently it is. So the light, which is they're calling the illuminate, standard illuminate is D65, which that's what we have set here for the light, which is, like I said, a standard that just came up when I picked the whiteness CIE standard. So it just has a standard set of values that it inputs once you pick your parameters that you want it to test for, which I think is really awesome for a layman and someone who doesn't know all the finer details yet, but am definitely digging into it for sure. All right, so and that represents outdoor daytime light, which is why they use it as a standard to measure the amount of light reflected across the visible spectrum, with a perfect non-fluorescent white paper having a CIE whiteness value of 100. So we're in that range. We're at 89 right here. The last I saw, the research I did last night quoted it as being a range between two values. Let's say standard range. Okay, that's 0 to 100. Well, the paper clearly isn't perfect white, but it's close. I wonder if this paper right here is whiter than that white. There are levels to this whiteness, and I wonder. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we can see. You can visually see that this white right here is whiter than this white. So let's go ahead and test this white right here. I'm anxious. I don't know why I didn't do this last night. All right, let's go ahead and test that. This should be closer to 100 because it's wider than this other envelope we have here. Let's test and see what value we get. Ooh, 109. Yeah, that's very. That's yeah. It looked yeah, it looked super white compared to this one. I mean, you can even see that on camera right here. This one showed up as an 89, and this one showed up. It's showing up at over 100. So yeah, it's super white. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so we're getting good readings. I guess that's what that proves on this device. We're getting good readings, knowing that whiteness of paper is around 100, and we got 109 for this whiteness right here, which is super white. I'm happy with that. I am super duper happy with that. So yeah, that's all I wanted to test on live for that. I thought that was interesting. I just want to kind of show that on camera live before I do the video, doing the measurements on other devices and getting the data for these devices up. What I'm going to do is this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure out a way. Oh, it was already on there. I'm going to figure out a way to take what we do here. Let's go to the chat real quick before we go to this. Duroc says science means that glasses are back on today. Word. That's what science means. That's exactly what science means. Listen, I was going to do a lab coat. The lab coat was going to be here. It was supposed to be here today. It is going to be here today. If it was here this morning, I would have had the lab coat on. Listen, when we do lab stuff, we got to have the lab coat. And this is the rat lab. This rat lab stuff. The Rock says CIE standards said that paper with a fluorescence like bleach will read over 100. Yeah, you can clearly tell that this had to have been bleached because man, it's super white. It's super white. But yeah, good readings. So the device is getting good readings. It's calibrated, it's standardized, it's getting good readings. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna find out all of these measurements. But anyway, one of the measurements I'm gonna find out and figure out a way to calculate is this right here. Oh, you know what? This is one of those things right here. Yeah, there we go. You know what? Let's just get rid of this. There we go. Okay. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make a box here, and we're gonna I'm gonna tell you I'm not gonna do this here. I'm just giving a demonstration of why I think this is exciting. Like I care about background brightness, right? And now we can judge machines and see which is brighter, right? And in a standardized way. That's important. Like I could take these measurements anywhere in the world and they would have to be respected because it's a standard using a standardized laboratory machine. This is all right. Anyway, so moving this. So we're gonna see what the effect of moving. You see how the screen looks like it got brighter? That's what I want to know. How much brighter is this than that? You dig? And if the screen gets darker, right? I'll be able to tell like, oh, well, let's not do that. Let's bring that back. I'll be able to tell, refresh. I'll be able to tell if the screen just gets darker. Just like, so me moving, let's say I move this. Let's just say, this is why I'm excited by this. Let's just say I move this, right? We're moving it. The question is, did this portion right here get darker? You know what I mean? Did this portion get darker than it was before I started moving this around? Like we know that the inverse ghosting is happening because you can see that inverse ghosting, right? But just looking at the part that we haven't gotten inverse ghosting on, I feel like this got darker. It's been a long theory of mine that the screen overall just gets darker the more you write on it. Now I can judge that. Now I can test it before writing, test it after writing, test the inverse ghosting to see what the color difference is, and then test that against other machines to see who does a better job of it. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait. This is gonna be awesome. Okay. What else we got here? Excitement is overcome me right now. We got a show to do though, so let's get back to it. The next thing we have here is me changing my mind on Supernote reading app. Okay, so let's talk about that. So I've long talked big crap about the Supernote reading app. I've called it trash in a video. I definitely called it trash at least one time. I may have called it trash on the live show. I don't remember. I just do stuff. Some of it works. Some works. Most don't, though. But yeah. I remember calling it trash. I changed. I haven't fully changed my mind on that. I'm moving in the direction that's changing my mind. Let's talk about it. So I was on the Manta last night. Can we open the previous document? Document. Oh, I love this device. So I go to my quick access menu, and I didn't want to look for this, but I knew it was the last document that I opened. So guess what I do? I go to this option that says last open document in the quick access menu. One swipe gets me there. Oh, go away. One swipe gets me there. And then I say, oh, it was my last open document. Bam, I hit that. It takes me there instantly. I don't have to look through the file system. I don't have to go through the recents. Supernote is organizational heaven. I got to tell you, it is so good. It takes the confusion and worry, the anxiety that I get from not finding files gone. I mean, you got to do a little work to get that peace of mind, but still, oh, it's attainable. You can get it with the Supernote. Can you get that with other devices? Absolutely not. You just can't. There's no mechanisms aren't in place. So we'll keep on. Anyway, I am changing my mind on the Supernote reader app. I'm gonna buy me a remote so I can stop reaching my arm up to this thing and worrying about whether I got sweat coming from under my armpit. These remotes aren't expensive. I need to just go ahead and do it. So I can just hold the remote, bam, zoom out, zoom in, focus, manual focus, turn off because I'm tired of being seen. So it's got to happen. Anyway, I was last night reading up on. I filled my devices with the same PDF, which is this one. And this is the PDF showing me how to use the photospectrometer, the spectrophotometer. They're both things. They're both legit. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to use the Manta because I don't use the Manta to read stuff. I would normally pick up the Go 10.3, like, okay, all PDFs. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this PDF on the Remarkable, the Go 10.3, and I'm going to put it on the Manta and see which one I like dealing with the most for doing annotations on a PDF that I have to learn stuff from, because there was no manual that came with this thing. I'm upset about that. It's certified, but no manual. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? So I put that PDF on here, and I was like, okay, well, let me see what I have available to me. Now, I'm going to show you guys a feature that I've been lobbying to Ratta for months. I'm going to start really making a stink about this now that I know how well it works on the PDF reader. The PDF reader ain't trash. Who knew? You know who knew? Ed knew. Every time I called it trash, Ed would be like, bro, you're totally wrong about that. Ed was right. I was totally wrong about, well, I wasn't totally wrong about that. Is it as good as the Go 10.3? Absolutely not. Is it enough for you to get most things done? Yeah. I'm just mad about them not giving you viewing options. If they add viewing options to this, my problems with this system is gone. I don't have issues anymore with the Supernote reader app if they just add viewing options. Like, let me see one page on one half, one page on the other half. Maybe let me see 4 pages on the screen at once. Maybe do what Boox does and let me see all kind of different ways. 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, or cut this page into 4 sections. Let me see each as come on now. I need options. I read scientific papers. I don't. I used to. I might be getting back into them with all of this stuff I got going on with the scientific instruments. I'm reading more scientific papers every day, it seems. So Yeah. Let's go to the chat. Wait, no fill tool. No, The Rock. No, the Supernote does not have a fill tool. It sucks. I know. It's crazy. I know, but it doesn't have a fill tool. I had to fill that in manually, not because I wanted to. Believe me. Aaron, aka Mr. Media, says that GoTemporary does that too. What? Last document? No. You can set up a shortcut to go to your you gotta let me know what you're talking about, Mr. Media, because I don't think that that's possible on the Go 10.3. Yeah, you gotta explain that to me. I love the way the Go 10.3 does it at 2530. The way it keeps everything you need in a quick access session in the calendar. Clutch. Whoa, wait, what? Y'all stop it. Y'all capping right now in the chat. Y'all straight capping in the chat right now. We about to find out though. we about to find out. Where the calendar app at? Where's this quick access y'all talking about on the 10.3? Show me, please. I'm in the calendar app. All I see is this today's notes and today's read. I don't know if that's what you guys are referring to as quick access. I'm not sure if I classify that as the same. But maybe you guys use it in a different way that I'm used to using it. Notes or PDFs or books in the calendar app. All I'm saying is the memo section. You can pick what note you created for the day. You can pick what we read for the day. And you got a calendar here. The top right. Well, I don't see nothing on the top. You talking about this right here? Come on now. Stop it. Yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna let y'all degrade the Supernote like that. You cannot degrade the quick access menu like that by saying that this is the equivalent of that. Come on, you guys. This is minuscule compared to what this does. Just by example, let me just give you. Now I'm gonna do a video. Matter of fact, here we go. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. I'm gonna do a video. Let me find out where it's at first. Oh, that's not it. Oh, July. It's July yet. Hold up. Oh, it's July yet. Let me find it. I have a video title just for this situation. Let me find it. Oh boy, maybe I can't find it. Wow, I don't have it. Oh, here we go. Bam. All right, see this title? If Boox adds this, the Supernote would be in trouble. That's going to be the title of a video coming very soon. And I'm going to allude to that thing right now. This is not it. I'm talking about what you guys are talking. What you guys think this is right here is in the notes. The notes has a better version of this, in my opinion. But they need to do a few things to it to make it good and comparable to what Ratta does. And I know exactly what they should do and what they need to do. And I guarantee you, as soon as I make this video, it's what they're going to do. I've been thinking about this. When I say something and I make a video about something, I don't really go back to see if companies changed it unless someone says it to me. I give feedback all the time to these companies and in their own apps on their devices. I give feedback about what I think should happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. Over half of those suggestions get done. Now I'm not saying just because of me. I'm just saying my mindset must be going along with a lot of other people and what needs to be done. Because I'm telling you, changing the sorting of tags on the Supernote or the Go 10.3 or just any Boox product right now, that was something I complained about when I made my quick update video for the Go 10.3. Same feedback I gave to them after I made the video. They added that to, I didn't know it. Mr. Media told me that it was an option. I had been complaining about it. They made it an option. I didn't even know it. They put it in the device. It wasn't there when I made the video. The point I guess I'm making here is, I think that they're going to do what I suggest because it would definitely put them on track with what Supernote or Ratta is doing with the Supernote. But I don't think this is it, you guys. I don't think that section is. I get how it's useful because it gives you notes, but that's no different than what the Supernote does here. Granted, it's better here. I will give it that. It's better there because you only get the notes you made and you can create a new note, right? So they don't show you your reading history. That's how it differs there. That memo is clutch too, especially since you can put that memo on your home screen now on the firmware of 4.0 on other devices, not the 10.3. But that's an awesome option though. But I don't think this is it, you guys. What do we got? She right its finger on the pulse. Y'all act like the Supernote does everything so much better. It's the same function. It is not. Aaron, I want to show you. Here we go. I've already started making this video. Let me show you this one. Supernote, what no one else is doing. And that quick access is one of those things that's in this video. I've already started this video, so this is coming out soon. But that's the quick access menu is something that nobody's doing. It's not, it hasn't been duplicated anywhere. Like there's no system where you can swipe once and get access to so many files. Indexed files. It's just, no, this doesn't take you to your last note or your last open document. This takes you to your notes. It don't take you to, like, okay, today's read, it does take you to, yeah, my bad. All right, so today's read, last document, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt, Mr. Media. No doubt, Mr. Media. Supernote doesn't have a native calendar app that you could work from as your home landing page. That section in the calendar app works as a quick access menu as well. I agree with you to an extent right now. You've convinced me. You've convinced me because you're right. This section right here is essentially this section right here in the calendar app. Okay, I'll get it to you. You're right. My bad. I'll get it to you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys pointing that out. Now, okay, that's cool. The calendar app is good on the Boox. I agree. I can't knock it. I can't knock it. But let me just let's go into here. Let's talk about this for a second. I can't show you these notes here. Let's talk about this for a second. Okay, so here we go. Some notes I have. It's crazy how we're talking about this, and this is something I've been working on. So I hear Notes app can only share data with the calendar and only its modification date. Calendar can't share data with Notes. Okay. So I guess that wouldn't help. The calendar not sharing modification, or the calendar or the notes app can only share data with the calendar, and only if it's only its modification date. So I get what I was saying there, I guess, or what I'm thinking there is that I can select things here, right? I can select something and I can add this to the calendar. This gives the calendar on the Supernote a little bit more functionality than on the Boox platform. Being able to add things from your notes directly to the calendar as an event, or as a to-do. But we're just talking about the calendar right now. But once you're in the calendar, I agree. Once you're in the calendar, there's more you can do with the Boox 10.3, without a doubt. Or the Go 10.3, without a doubt. You got the memos. You have that pop up for whatever day you're on, which is awesome. Docs and notes. Okay. Good point. I stand corrected. Thank you, guys. See? Learning every day. The Rock says the difference is that on the Supernote, the home screen is a note. There we go. So the sidebar is your quick access on Boox. The home screen is the home screen, and quick access is found there. Now, I will say this. I don't care how good the calendar app is, it can't compete with the quick access menu. And you get the quick access menu even when you're in the Notes app. So I don't care how good that is. You get this right here, which is what you get in the calendar app on the Go 10.3. So you get that, but then you get this right here. Then you get these 8 notes that you have access to just one swipe. You also have recent files. You don't have access to that in the calendar app. You can't create a new. Can you create a new note in the? Nope, you can't create a new note in the calendar app, can you? You can only see that day's notes. You can't create one. Here you can create a new note from the quick access menu. To me, the Notes app is a better homepage than the calendar app, or the Notes app on the Supernote is a better homepage than the calendar app on the Go 10.3, in my mind. For a bunch of reasons, but for one of those big reasons for me is this feature, this function, this menu right here lets you go back to the folder that the actual note is in. And it takes you back to the folder that the note was in every time. It doesn't matter if you navigated there through your file tree. It doesn't matter if you got to that note by the recents. It doesn't matter if you got to that note through your favorites. Going to that menu will always take you back to the folder that the file you're working with is in, to let you do immediate work in that folder, or go back to the beginning of your file tree if you want to, like right here. So I guess what I'm saying here is that does the Boox platform have a quick access menu that is the equivalent to what the Supernote offers? And the answer to that is absolutely not. Absolutely not. eInk says, what you do need to know is that list resets every day. Okay? This list right here, the quick access list, does not reset every day. It's always going to take me to my last open note. It's always going to take me to my last open document. I'll always have these files here, and they'll always be in the order that I set them. So it's like muscle memory to get back to them. But I also have access to recent files. I also have access to my favorites. I always have access to my favorites if I just go to the folder view right here. You hit the star, you got your favorites. So to me, the Notes app is a way better homepage on the Supernote than the calendar app on the Boox platform. Without a doubt. And as far as the quick access menu, there's no comparison. In my mind, in my opinion, there's no comparison between the two. The Boox platform doesn't have anything that can compete with it. It can, and I'm going to make a video about that. But as of now, no. eInk says, also true, Aaron, but I need my memo to be... Viewable. Oh, it says, Mr. Media says, quick access menu is limited to 8. On Boox, I can just make it an outline, and I can have quick access to unlimited notes or pages. You can do that on Supernote too. The difference is you'd have to create that on the Boox platform. You don't have to create that on the Supernote platform. It's just there for you to use. And you have to recreate that every time you want to change it. With a Supernote, you just, it's a menu option. You know what I mean? It's as simple as a menu option. You want to change that quick access list that's over here? All you got to do is go right there. You can remove and add pages with click of a button. It's so easy. With creating your own template to do it, like I said, there's work involved. Ratta did a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Sheen says, love this discussion, by the way. Me too. I'm learning something. Like I said, you guys have changed my mind on that calendar section right there. I never gave it a second thought until just now. And you guys are like changing my mind about that. You do have to add notes to the quick access menu, but you don't have to add a link, if that makes sense. If you create it yourself, I think you have to create a link if you're making an, oh, you said an outline. Got it. I see what you're saying now, Aaron. Okay. Gotcha. Very good point. He says, so I thought they had to be adding notes to the quick access menu. So my confusion was he meant the outline feature, and which I think is trash. Again, where is it on here? Oh, it's not on here. Okay, never mind. We'll get to that some other time. But the point is, yeah, I mistakenly thought he was talking about something else when he was talking about the outline. Very good point. Again, you're absolutely correct. The recent files will auto-fill, but the quick access can be filled by the user. Yeah, that's the difference between that. No, if you're saying this is better because your outline won't take you to another file, Aaron, I think that's the mistake here. These are files. These aren't places. Well, they could be places in the same note, but they don't have to be. These are all different files for me in the quick access. An outline can only take you to pages in that particular file. This takes you to other files if you have other files here. It takes you to other documents if you have other documents here. It takes you to other pages in the same file or document if you have that set in here too. So that's the difference between the outline feature and the quick access. The quick access is better to me. Well, the outline feature that on the Boox platform can't even touch the header system on the Supernote. So that's, to me, that's day one. That's ground zero there. Let's just get that up front. The header system is a better system than the outline system because you don't have to build it. This system is better than the outline system as well because it takes you to different files, not just different pages. All right, moving on. What else we got here? Man, that was a good one. Thank you, Mr. Media. You changed my mind on a couple of things about this Boox 10.3. I mean, I love the product. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great, but I never thought about the calendar in that section for notes and documents the way I see this. And it is essentially the same thing. You're absolutely right about that. All right, let's get back to where we were. Recent? There we go, 19. All right. I think we might be at the last... No, custom nib sizes. All right. So I had a conversation with Jay in the Discord last night about you guys might know I'm making my own nib. I haven't talked about the details yet. That some people know. Maybe 2 people know about the details. Jay being one of them. But Jay, I was talking to Jay last night about the size of the nibs, and he said something that I had never considered before. He was like, oh, it'd be nice to have a nib the same size as the titanium nibs so you can just kind of pop them in to devices or pins, right? My take on that was initially to get nibs that are the size of the normal ceramic nibs and put them inside of a sheath so that they're protected. And because I noticed some of these pens have metal components that are around the device or around the nib, when the portion of the pen that you stick the nib into anyway. I never considered making a full size 0.9 or 1 millimeter radius nib. I was sticking with the 0.7 because of the precision that a smaller, more precise nib gives you. Thoughts though, leave them in the comments. If 0.7 doesn't matter to you and you're okay with a 1 millimeter or a 0.9 millimeter nib, let me know. That'd be interesting. I think I might throw a post up on the members, a member post up as well on this particular topic. But that was something we were talking about last night, like 2 a.m, and I thought it might be interesting to throw out to the chat on the live show, especially since I knew eInk was going to be here. To get your take would be very nice. I'm sure I'll see you in the Discord as well, though. Another reason for me having a plastic sheath around the ceramic nib is when you drop the pen, and it's undoubtedly going to happen, the plastic gives you some protection against damaging either the electronics on the inside or the nib itself, because there's some shock absorption there. If the ceramic is touching the components of the inside of the pen and it drops, there's more of a chance of something happening. Case in point, I had to buy a brand new, and this is why I kind of had that idea here. I had to buy a brand new nib for this this Hard Metal 2 Samurai pen right here. Beautiful pen, nice weight. Some might say too heavy. I'm scared sitting this thing down anywhere. Just, I don't know. I have to be very careful. Just like, all right. Back away. Slowly. 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 Now run. I mean, that's how I feel when I'm putting this thing down. That's how it feels. Like, but anyway, day one with this pen, I'm writing with it, having a good time, like testing it. I'm like, oh, what is that? What? Okay, we won't concern ourselves. I'm writing with it, I'm having a good time, blah, blah, blah. I sit it down. Oh, I'm sorry. This wasn't on it. You know why? You know why this wasn't on the back like it should have been? Because this device right here. Hold on. Just give me 1 second. Atelier, I can't stand that app. It's the worst app in the history of man. I stand by that. How you make a drawing app with no tools? What the crap? What the what? Anyway, I'm writing, I'm drawing, I'm having a good time. And you know why I didn't have okay, back to what I was saying. You know why I didn't have this on the back like it should have been to stop this thing from rolling? Because of the crappy loop that used to be on this device. I took it off. It was a distraction. It was just dumb. Anyway, for that dumb loop strap thing, majiggy, this was on there. So when I went to go put this down, there was nothing from stopping this thing from rolling off of my table. And guess what it did? It did just that. Now, this table, it's not even I can't do it now. This table is not 3 feet off the ground. Not 3 feet. Matter of fact, let's oh boy, let's put this in there. Let's see how far this is off the ground. I'm back on. It was on that table back there. God, that table right there. But these tables are the same table. Exactly the same. They're the same exact height. They are stand-up work tables, so I can move them up and down. But that one stays down, and that's the table it was on. So this one moves up and down for videos, but whatever. All right, so let's test this out. Let's see how far from the floor we actually are. So, this is where we are. This is 2 feet. 2 feet, 5 inches, not even 3 feet. So 2 feet, 5 inches off the floor is where this pen fell from. And because it didn't have the back, like I said, because of that crappy, dumb loop that's on the Manta, just throw that thing in the trash if you have it on there. Someone needs to make a better one. Maybe I will if I ever get the time to think about it. So I sit this down, and as you can see right now, oh, it stopped rolling. Oh, boy. Oh, it's okay. You saw that, right? You heard that, right? Okay, so there we go. It fell on the ground. It must have fell right on the nib. Can we see this? It must have fell right on the nib, because when it fell, this little plastic part around the metal part there broke off. And after that, the pen didn't work anymore. So then I had to go and buy another one of these. If you don't know, you can buy replacements. I hear people having problems with these. Like this part right here starts to rattle after a while. Hit me up. I got tons of them here that I take the nibs out of. If you guys need new ones of these, let me know. I got you. I know Jeff has a problem with his. Jeff's rattles. Jeff, hit me up. I'll send you one, bro. I got tons of these around. I'll just send you one, okay? So you can have a non-rattling. You have to take the nib out and put it in the new thing, because they don't come. I won't send it with nibs. So it's just the mechanics here. But anyway, so I had to buy a new one of these, put it in the pen. So now I have a working Heart of Lamy now still. But I guess I went through that whole long rant. That was sort of a rant and a ramble in one. Twofer. The point here is that that's one of the reasons why I wanted to keep the ceramic nib in a sheath, so that it doesn't damage the electronics when you drop it or damage the nib. The nib was fine, but that drop broke that plastic and definitely damaged some of the electronics on the inside because it didn't work anymore. Okay, that was a long thing. That took a long time, but that's it. So that's why I want to keep the sheath around the Lamy, or the sheath around my custom nibs that are coming soon. Oh, they will be ceramic, but a different type. Better. I say better. They are. They're better. So that's the thing. Let's go to the chat real quick. Aaron says, oh, let's go to the top. I missed a couple. Oh, dang. I know why I'm missing them now, because I have such a short window. All right, let's see. Mr. Media says, I use the favorite page on the notes homepage for files I'm going to revisit daily. He says the favorites page on the notes. Oh. So you just favorite a bunch of notes. See, the problem with favoriting, and that's cool too. It's just another way of doing it. You can do favorites on the Supernote too. But the benefit to having the quick access over the favorites is the quick access, you get to order those notes how you want them to show up. And they're in that order every time. Your favorites, you don't get to order. Yeah, you don't get to order your favorites. So that's, and like I said, they have the quick access and they have favorites. So they're going a step. I'm done. There's many ways to skin a cat. Why did I use that analogy? There's many ways to peel an orange. So, Aaron says, I've dropped my Heart of L2 so many times and it has held up fine. Dude, one time, the first day, one drop broke it. But the thing is, for me, is that that's not even one of the, there's definitely, people are having rattling Heart of Metal pens. Why? They're good pens. Don't get me wrong. I just think they're fragile as all crap. I honestly think these Heart of Metal pens are super fragile. When you got tons of people on Reddit complaining about the insides of these things, having something that's metal that's rattling around, people just deal with it. But after spending $100 on a pen, I'm not about to deal with rattling. Are you crazy? I'm sending that thing right back. But yeah, so the rattling thing, my nib breaking, which definitely happened on one drop, tells me that this thing may be super fragile. The weight is good, but it also may be a not good thing. Like, this pen, super light, writes just as good as this pen. I mean, to me, feels better too because of soft plastic at the tip versus this hard metal. And the ergonomics, it has ergonomics. This has none. Like I said, it's a nice pen. I'm holding on to it. I like writing with it occasionally. But as soon as I go to put it down after writing, I remember why I don't like writing with it. It just feels like you have to baby it, and I don't like that. This thing, I've dropped it so many times. It's fallen out of my bag running. Nothing hurts this thing. No rattling. The nib is never broken. The insides have never had a problem. Anyway, I like this pen. It's a nice pen. It's just fragile. That's my take. Cheating says, I belong to the nib club. I use felt so they start sharp and wear too bold. I like both sizes. I often need both sizes on different devices or templates so I can see the benefit of both. Nice. I have to use a bigger size because I've got accustomed to using the Lamy or the ceramic nib, which is 0.7. I haven't even used anything else in months, so I don't even know. Matter of fact, shortly after I started using eInk devices, I found ceramic and haven't turned away since. I've used nothing since. If you look in stores, you will see that fine liner is way more popular than anything bold, though. Ooh, interesting. I also keep the top on my harder metal if I'm not using. Yeah, and that's what I should have done. Like I said, the only reason I didn't have the top on it on the back to keep it from rolling was because of that dumb loop that was on the Manta. I was telling myself, it's so hard to get this pen into that loop, that elastic loop. It's so hard to get it in there. I was like, once I get it in there, I'm just going to leave the top in and just take the pen out. Just take the pen out, right, and then slide it into the loop and slide it into the cap that's already slid into the loop when I'm done. Now that I took that loop off, I always put the pen on the back and I never have a problem with the rolling. So problem solved. Just by taking that dumb loop. I'm sorry, I'm calling it dumb. It's dumb to me though. All right, what else we got here? Oh boy, we went deep today, you guys. We went deep today. What else we got here? I think this is the end of the show. Ed's new video and eInk Unplugs video. So I wanted to plug two videos before we go, and we will look at Ed's real quick. But I wanted to plug eInk Unplugs video because I like to highlight people and videos who are like unique. I like different, unique stuff. And what eInk Unplugged is doing with his he's got a video series going on right now, like giving eInk devices to, like, for lack of a better term, non-eInk people and seeing what their responses are. I love that. It's a fresh take. You get people who don't have a opinion about this stuff giving their opinion, or don't really care about this stuff giving their opinion because they're being exposed to it for the first time. I love that. It's a bit long for me to go through on the show at the end, but we will check out Ed's because Ed's is only like 2 minutes. So, but Ed's got a new video out, and I love these quick little videos that we can just kind of go to 2 minutes and we're done with it. Let's go ahead and check it out real quick. This is on the new Supernote update as well too. So I like watching Ed's because you always get a tidbit that you didn't know you were going to get from Ed's videos. You go expecting you're going to learn something about something, and then you learn something totally different. It's good. I mean, you probably learned what you came to learn too, but you know, other stuff as well.
Hey everybody, it's Ed here with a real quick update, and I want to show you something that I think's been a little confusing to some people. It's a small change that came out with the software upgrade, but it seems to be causing a bit of confusion. So let's go ahead and we will put calendar demo. It's not really the calendar, but
Selection
we'll do
tool
that
confusion.
anyway. And we'll go ahead and circle that. Now, what used to happen here is you would have all of these tools you see here, but you would have a little calendar icon.
Oh, so people are confused about the three dots at the end there. Okay. That bothered me a little bit too, I gotta say. Them taking the actual calendar icon, because I say this because one of the pluses of the Supernote platform is the way they design their icons. It's unique to their system, and you don't see anything like it anywhere else. Boox icons look a little bit generic to me. These look totally unique, and the calendar icons were super unique, and I like the way they had them. I like the way they had them set up, what they stood for. They were easy to understand, easy to find. They were placed perfectly. I wonder why they went away from that. Anyway.
Icon. And with that calendar icon, when you would press it, you would get a calendar drop down that would show you the tasks or the to-dos and an event. All that Supernote has done is replace that with this little ellipse of 3 dots. But it seems...
Are we not calling those hamburger bars anymore? What's going on, chat? Are they hamburger bars? Or what are they now? Because I grew up programming calling them hamburger bars.
To be causing a lot of confusion. But if you press the 3 dots, all it does now is...
Yeah, now I know why I don't like it, because they don't give you that third option.
It gives you those same 2 options, but it separates them out. One is an event, which goes to the calendar, and one is a task. The functionality is exactly the same. The number of presses is exactly the same. But for some reason, this is causing a little bit of consternation. I've seen messages on Reddit, I've seen messages on Facebook where people are just saying, hey, can we...
What this does, I understand why they went to this. They did this because that toolbar was getting too long. I get it. I love it. But I think they felt the toolbar was getting too long, so they were like, "Okay, well, we can put one icon here that can take the place of 3, and as a matter of fact, we're gonna put 2 there and take one of those options totally away." So it used to be to-dos, tasks, and events. Now it's just events and tasks.
We get the calendar added back in. Well,
Mr. Mike, how's it going?
Since these are 2 different things, it kind of makes sense. Now, what I would think would be handy, and especially for those who may prefer to have a different toolbar, is to have this be customized a little bit. I mean, we're talking about just 2 more things. So someone may not use keywords. I don't use keywords as often. Or they may not use the link function. If that's the case, you could add that into the ellipse.
Nah, see, my problem with, and that is a good take. My problem with that is that I feel like from a design perspective and from a UX perspective, tools need to be and should be contextual, in my opinion. And this is what the Boox platform is missing. If the Boox platform just made their tools contextual, that would solve like 90% of their problems with people saying their software is bloated and it's too many options and all of this. If they just paid somebody to say, hey, could you redesign our tool set to be contextual so that everything doesn't pop up all the time? You only get the tools you're going to need for what you're doing. That's my problem with taking away the keywords from the toolbar. If you took away keywords, now someone who don't know about keywords may never know that they even exist, because in a spot where they could be using them, it's not there. It's not put in front of them, showing them this is something that you can do. And in my mind, that's what's missing in a lot of operating system and UI design lately. It didn't used to be like this. It used to be a lot of stuff was contextual. Now people have gotten away from that. They're just throwing everything at the wall and just like, okay, we're here. We'll give you all the tools. Take them. Like, don't give me a toolbox of tools, not categorized off, not labeled properly. That's what it feels like the Boox platform does. They just give you tools. Bam, we gave you a bunch of tools. Supernote is I like how they're doing it here. They're saying, we have a bunch of tools, but we're going to show you the tools you need right now. Okay, we got a lot of them, but right here, we're just going to show you the ones you can use right now. I like that. And if they take keywords away, someone may not know that's even an option. Someone that doesn't dig into the menus. like the most of us do.
Customize and switch this up. I think maybe that's what most users are going for, is trying to figure out the way to have the maximum flexibility, which is what Supernote's good for and good at. But anyway, again, very quick hit. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, I am definitely on board with what they did there. I mean, like I said, it's a hamburger bar. It lets you see other options, but to me, putting all those options right in front of them, even if the toolbar got a little long, and it was borderline getting long, I didn't mind though, because they were all things that you could do right then, if that makes sense. Yeah. All right, everybody. Any questions, comments? Oh, you know what? What's interesting? Let's look at this real quick, because I noticed this when I meant to show this comment when I went and talked about the changing my mind about the Supernote PDF reader, because I'm kind of second guessing some advice I gave someone. So let's bring that up. Okay, here we go. So I got a comment right here from someone who's watching the Go 10.3 video that we were talking about earlier. And I came across this before I started working with the PDF reader with the outline function on the Supernote. Now, I don't even remember, I didn't get to why I liked it more. Maybe we'll get to it tomorrow. But there's some tools there that I liked a lot. And along those lines, let's go ahead and get into this comment. So, K. Renee Ward, thought 10.3 was for me, but everyone is talking about broken glass screens and bad UI and software issues with doc management. Is the Manta a good PDF reader and annotation device? Pick one for me. Use case, taking notes and doing second brain entrepreneurship. My immediate response after that was, if you're looking for taking notes and doing second brain stuff, the Supernote platform is definitely the one for you. No matter Manta, it doesn't matter. They both do the job, just depends on what size you need. Now for an e-reader app, the PDFs, for PDFs and books and such, though you can do those annotations and PDF things on the Supernote platform, they're just better on the Go 10.3. FYI, I've never had quality issues with it, meaning the Go 10.3. As long as you don't prioritize the PDF annotation aspect, you will be more than fine with the Supernote platform. Its organization and writing experience is second to none. I hope this helps. Thanks for stopping by. Now, after I got into the PDF reader of looking at the manual for the Spectrophotometer, I realized that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And we'll go into that maybe on Friday's show. I'll talk a little bit more about why I felt that way. But it's a very interesting turn of events, and not totally changing my mind on the app, but I'm more tolerant of it and I can understand it more. And I see a use case now for it. Whereas before, I'm like, there's no use case where this would be useful to someone above and beyond what the Boox platform offers. But I now see use cases for it. Playing with the documentation for this spectrophotometer definitely showed me some use cases for it, and we'll talk about that and other news stories on Friday. As always, thank you everyone for joining me. I appreciate all the chat members coming into the chat. Let's go ahead and get the air horns going for you guys before we get up out of here. I didn't holler out for the members individually today. We'll get to that Friday. My bad, you guys, but love you. I appreciate you coming. Thank you. I appreciate all the support you guys give me as well. Again, thank you for showing up for the live on this Wednesday. I appreciate all you guys. We'll be back Friday, 10 a.m., maybe 10:30. It's been 10:30 lately. But until then, everybody, have a great day and take care of yourself. Peace.